Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall. As you may already be aware of, Windows 98 turns 20 years old next week, and I am planning a special video commemorating it. But before that video is released, I want to do a quick look at the origins of some of Windows 98's design elements, and most of these can be found in the Windows Desktop Update for Windows 95, which was released with Internet Explorer 4.0 in September of 1997, which we will be installing today on my Corner Packard Bell. The Windows Desktop Update includes many enhancements to the Windows 95 interface, making it almost indistinguishable from Windows 98, which came out a year later. And it also included some other features as well, like the infamous channel bar, and we'll take a look at that as well, even though most of the links probably won't work on there anymore. So, let's get started. I remember actually installing this on, well, I didn't, but my dad installing it on our original Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT back in 1997 when this first came out. But it kind of bogged the system down, which was unfortunately a common thing on computers running the Windows Desktop Update. It really bloated Windows 95 down, but a lot of the reason for that was the 822 was only 100 megahertz Pentium with 16 megs of RAM. Well, we did install an upgrade of 32 megs into the 822 at some point, but I can't remember if we had it in there already or not, but when we installed the desktop update. But this computer we're installing on has a Pentium 166 with 48 megs of RAM, so this ought to be a little bit more welcoming to the desktop update. So we'll go ahead and install it. We've got it on my virtual 2000 server. And to install it, we have to install Internet Explorer 4.0. And currently we have let's see what version of Internet Explorer we have right now. I believe it's version 3, because I did upgrade this to 95 OSR 2. I reformatted this computer yesterday in anticipation of this video. And believe it or not, we actually do have an internet connection on here. And this is version 2, actually. Well, I stand corrected. Just out of curiosity, though, will Google open in this? Kind of. At least it made an effort. Yeah, Toasty Tech's website surprisingly will not open in IE2. But you gotta love the Windows logo right there. Yeah, I'm surprised we got this far in Internet Explorer 2.0, but anyway, take note before we install this how the Windows 95 interface looks as of right now. You see we have each folder opening in its own window, and we go to the start menu. I'm right clicking, but there's no context menu. We can't order the start menu in the way we want it, and there's no quick launch toolbar down here on the taskbar. And again, all of these are features that come pre-bundled with Windows 98, but we can add all this to Windows 95 by installing IE4. Now, I just remembered one thing. It's probably a good idea if I install Plus for Windows 95 before we do this. I should have done this yesterday, but I'm going to do this off camera, so we'll save some time that way, but I'll be right back after I install Plus for Windows 95. Okay, the Plus Pack is installed now, which gives us stuff like desktop themes and some visual enhancements. And of course I hit the wrong tab, like stretch desktop wallpaper, and we can show window contents while dragging, which I think that may come with the desktop update. I can't remember, but anyway, it's best to have that installed before installing this update. So finally we can go ahead and do this. I know you've been waiting all day. Okay, like I said, we got to install this along with Internet Explorer 4. This is 4.01 Service Pack 2. I definitely read that. And there were Windows 95 computers that came pre-bundled with this, actually. I know the Flying Scotsman's Compact Presario 2240, it shipped with Windows 95, but it had this active desktop update installed on it. And that's part of the charm to that computer, according to him, and can't argue with him with that. Personally, I usually prefer having Windows 95 without this, because, you know, if you're going to install all this, why not just install Windows 98? But for the sake of this video and to change things up on this computer, I figured, why not install this? And hopefully I got the right one. Because I hope this has the desktop update in it. I guess we can pause the video right here. Okay, it's optimizing my system for better performance, and I have a feeling I installed the wrong thing, because this hasn't made any mention of the Windows desktop update. Oh, that scared me. Yeah, I have a feeling we should have installed something else, because this was version 4.01 Service Pack 2, and I have a feeling this didn't include the desktop update. Hopefully I can uninstall this cleanly without any issues and we can start over. I should have done more research into this beforehand. And I think it may have frozen. Or not. Okay, we're on the other side of the reboot now. It's setting up a few items. Again, I do not know if we got the Windows desktop update or not. I have a feeling we did not, unfortunately, because I didn't research it hard enough. But hopefully we can just uninstall it and start over again without any issue. Yeah, this isn't looking promising. Well, we got the channel bar at least. And there's the welcome screen. Yeah, no desktop update for us, just as I was afraid of. So what I just did, folks, do not do that. You need plain vanilla Internet Explorer 4.0 and not 4.01 Service Pack 2. So we're going to uninstall this. And start over again, and I need to hunt down the proper installer. So yeah, use this video as an example of what not to do if you want to have the Windows Desktop update. But to be fair, it's been a long time since I've installed this, so I've kind of forgotten what all I need to do. So it looks like I need to go on another search for the right program. Okay, we're going to restart now. Okay, we're back to our original configuration. The uninstallation was successful. That's a hard thing to say 3 times fast. And I believe I've sourced the proper installation files for the Windows Desktop update. And apparently it didn't copy over to my server. Why didn't it not copy? Of course, all this disastrous experiences have to happen when I'm recording a video, so I get to embarrass myself and show you how dumb I am. So let me try copying it over again. Okay, I promise you, we're going to get it working this time. Okay. In fact, we have it right here. Internet Explorer 4.0. All the goodies here that come along with it. So, let's hope this is it, folks. Because I don't want to delay this any longer. And I'm sure you don't want this delayed any longer either. Okay. I accept. Alright, full installation. This comes with IE4, Outlook Express, NetMeeting, and a bunch of other things I don't feel like naming. Windows Desktop. Yes, this is it, folks. We got it. Windows Desktop Update. IE 4.0 includes a Windows Desktop Update as an optional component. This update adds true web integration to your Windows experience. A web-enhanced active desktop, taskbar, start menu, and folders. Would you like to install it? Yes, we do. And we get a little preview of it right there. And active channel selection. We live in the United States, so we'll go with that. Alright, we finally got it, folks. We finally got it. Now, the Windows Desktop update was actually a pretty controversial thing. Okay, upgrade new items. Most recent versions of some items are already installed. To save time, we recommend upgrading only items that... Okay, we'll just go with that then. but this Windows Desktop update, when it came out, was kind of controversial because Microsoft was trying to force Internet Explorer down people's throats, and people didn't really care for that. Just ask Nathan Lineback of ToastyTech.com. He was not a fan of this update, and he was not a fan of Windows 98 either because it came with all this pre-installed. And we'll cover more of that later on in our upcoming Windows 98 20th anniversary video. As for me, I can take it or leave it. I like it, but usually I don't install this on Windows 95 because it makes it too much like Windows 98. And I have nothing against Windows 98. It's one of my favorite operating systems, but if you're going to install all this on Windows 95, you might as well just install Windows 98. But that's just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. So this will probably take a while, so I'll pause the video and we'll catch you on the other side. Okay, wasn't able to install Front Page Express, but I think that may have been because of the later version of IE4 that we installed a while ago, leaving some bits and pieces, but anyway, we'll tell it OK. Oh, wow, it's error message galore. So I guess we'll be restarting now. We've already got our Outlook Express icon there. Well, we did, but before it went away, but optimizing your system for better performance. I don't know what kind of voice I was doing there. I really don't. So I don't know how long this will take. Okay, so it's going to restart. And we'll wait for it to restart. Alright, we're on the other side of the reboot now, and it's finalizing a few things. So this might take a couple of minutes. Alright. We are good to go now. And here's our welcome splash screen. Microsoft Internet Explorer 4.0. And we'll not let it come back up again. And yeah, you probably noticed one thing right off the bat, that that Windows 95 is suffering an identity crisis. It thinks it's Windows 98 all of a sudden. But we can click our start menu here. We got a few more buttons here, and we can go to the programs list. We can right click and look at this. We've got a context menu. So, and we can move items to where we want them, just like in Windows 98. And we got our quick launch bar down here, just like in Windows 98. And we can have other toolbars down here. In fact, I'm going to make one right now that'll give me quick access to my games. There we go. Yeah, okay. Maybe not. Usually when I do this in Windows 98, it will give me a button to access a menu, but apparently in this version, it just gives you, it just puts them all on the taskbar in a very, very unorganized manner. So we will not be doing that. But we can go up here to my computer and notice how it has this big thing on the left side of the screen like in Windows 98. Well, similar to Windows 98, but it looks different. And we get the exact same drive size chart, just like in Windows 98. And notice also, all the folders are opening in one window, and we get the toolbar up here, just like in 98. So it makes going through folders in Windows 95 quite a bit easier. And of course, we get this huge channel bar here with buttons that no longer work because, well, it's 2018 and these link to places that no longer exist. Customize my desktop. Okay. View my active desktop as a web page. I know in Windows 98, I can't remember if you can do this in the desktop update on 95 or not, but you could actually have the desktop background be an actual web page, which I always thought was pretty stupid, but hey, it was there if you ever wanted it. Yeah, we'll have a quick overview. Welcome to Active Channels. Active Channels are websites specially designed for Internet Explorer 4.0. Isn't that pretty? The channel bar slides off screen when you use a full screen window. I'll tell you what this kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of the start screen that Windows 8 and 8.1 had, back when Microsoft decided to shoehorn a tablet interface onto computers that were not tablets. I'm glad they realized that mistake. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that in a way. Now, one thing that we can do to make things a little bit less buggy. Now, first of all, we're going to not do that. We're going to install IE 5.5 Service Pack 2. This is the latest version of Internet Explorer that will run on Windows 95. And the reason we're doing this is because Internet Explorer 4.0 is very, very buggy and flaky. Now, one thing I also forgot to mention, now it doesn't look as good because we're in 256 color mode, is this is this is displaying fancier icons that were a little bit more like Windows 98. And we'll take a look at those later on after we upgrade to IE 5.5. And again, this is to I will be right back. I need to take care of something. That was delicious. Now back to this Packard Bell. A little B Bishop PCM humor there. And we're going to do a custom installation. I'll give it that. I usually install this anyway on Windows 95, but if you just install this by itself, you don't get the desktop update. Okay. Alright, we'll let that install. Okay, it already installed and I already rebooted, and it's just doing the thing it always does where it finishes up a few things. So this may take another couple of minutes. Hope you've been enjoying this video, by the way. I hope it's not too boring. Excuse me. I'm actually considering a pretty major upgrade for this corner Packard Bell. It has a socket 7, but it can't take a regular MMX CPU that you could get. But it can take a AMD K6 with the MMX instructions on it. So I'm thinking about installing one of these into this computer. It does require a special BIOS from Mr. BIOS, but I can take care of that. I haven't decided if I want to or not. It might be a little risky for such a rare computer like this. Okay. Looks like we're good to go now. Still got our channel bar. I doubt that I'll keep that on here, though. Yeah, everything is up to date on here. Now, one more thing I want to show is the nicer looking high color icons that you get with this. So let's set this to 16-bit color and set this to smooth edges of screen fonts, but it's also going to show icons using all possible colors, which is going to be very nice. So, alright, we'll let it restart. Usually keep this computer at 256 color because all of my games I play on here require that, so not sure if I'll keep it at 16-bit or not. And here we are. For the most part, at first glance, you would just assume this was Windows 98. I mean, it looks just like Windows 98, for crying out loud. Because we got the higher color icons that aren't from the Plus pack that don't look all that good. Well, they look unique, but maybe not amazing, but these look better. But as you can see here, it's still Windows 95. So yeah, it looks just like Windows 98. And that is pretty cool. Am I going to keep this on here? I do not know yet. I will think about it and see how much I like it, because I've got a Windows 98 computer that can do all this better. So yeah, it depends on how well it runs and how original I want to keep the system, but yeah, it works. It looks pretty good to me. So yeah, stay tuned next week for our 20th anniversary video for Windows 98. Looking forward to making that. So until next time, this is Billy Core signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also support me on Patreon if you would like. The link to all of these are down below. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off.